trolley that'll be on your own front door. A pair on hop-along boots and a pistol that shoots is a wish of Barney and Ben. Dolls that'll talk and we'll go for a walk is the hope of Janice and Jen. And Mom and Dad can hardly wait for school to start again. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. There's a tree in the Grand Hotel, one in the park as well. It's the sturdy kind that...
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the All-American Savage Show podcast. Hey, if you enjoyed that amazing song, that's a Canadian crooner on Rumble. Personal friend, this guy is really good. You can go give him a follow. Apparently he's gonna be dropping some more holiday themed music, and it's got that kind of what would you call that?
Old-timey?
Old-timey, yeah. I like it.
Classic.
I like it. It sounds good. It's chill.
It sounds really good, yeah.
It's relaxing. It's one of those songs that you can kind of just
get out a pipe and glass of...
Which kind of pipe, Josh? Which kind of pipe are we talking about here? Crack pipe?
Get a nice crack pipe out.
Get a nice crack pipe when you listen. No, that was actually really good. So again, if you want to go follow him, it is Canadian Crooner on Rumble. Really good. He's got more music coming out. Go give him a follow. Go show him some love. Matter of fact, here is the link if you want to go check it out. And again, really like it. Great intro song. Yeah. Very great intro song. Go show him some love. He's Canadian. So, I mean, we can forgive that. Listen to the tunes, you hoser. Nah, big thank you. Renee Russ in the chat says, very 1940s sound. I dig that. That's good. Hey, well, as you know, folks, first thing to do once we open up the stream, hit that thumbs up button. Help us with the algorithm. Get us into the, getting us into, Jesus. It's going to be one of those. It's Friday.
Great.
I'm just going to be... John's high again. John's in the eggnog again.
Oh,
it's going to be a great show today. We've got Amiri King calling in roughly in about 13 minutes to discuss the Brittany Griner. And the great thing about this is I've explained to Amiri, is like, we're uncensored. So you can say whatever the hell you want to say. You don't have to limit yourself. You don't have to hold back for the fear of being censored. Here on Rumble, they're very good about letting you say whatever it is that you want to say. Mm-hmm. And I'm very grateful and appreciative for that. So on today's show, we're going over the Twitter files part 2. Oh, more dropped. Elon is just opening the Pandora's box of political toxicity and manipulation and corruption. And you're getting actual receipts. And then we're going to watch the actual exchange of Brittany Griner and the Merchant of Death, who is responsible for killing Americans.
You know, it's almost a little sad to see these Democrats scrambling to try to make excuses and defend all this.
I'm going to take a stance today that I think a lot of people probably are not actually thinking about, because right now we are using Brittany Griner to juxtapose the Marine or the teacher, and I've got their names. But I want to delve more into this because I feel like the majority of us are getting this wrong. We can approach and discuss what Biden has done and the ramifications and what Biden should have done and also what Trump should have done. And I feel like we need to take a different approach to this because, like I said, I feel a lot of people are just getting this wrong. And to just give you a quick synopsis, they shouldn't have traded Brittany Griner for either of them. And here's the reason why. We traded an arms dealer, an international arms dealer. Regardless if we traded that arms dealer for a Marine, who, by the way, was dishonorably discharged, or that American school teacher that was caught with half a pound of medicinal marijuana, that's not an even trade. Mm-hmm. It's not. I'm just going to say it. So when you see liberals try and counter you with this, and I guess we'll just go ahead and get into this. When you see liberals try and counter you with this, it's like, well, what did Trump do? Nothing, as he should have. If they wanted us to release the Merchant of Death, then you got to give us something of equal value on the table. And I'm sorry, a disgraced Marine, regardless of what he did, that's just no. I was like, you got to give me something better, or at least
handing
more.
over the devil himself.
Exactly. So I just feel like
you pointed it out yesterday. This guy's he's
fueled wars all over the world, but I mean, so is the government. So, but still,
I mean, he's solely responsible for the death of thousands and thousands, if not millions, of people.
Well, he does have a point, though. If it ain't him, it's somebody.
Well, it's him.
I know.
That's not an excuse. Yeah, it's
I'll
you.
Give you that one. But when I sit back and I look at this and I keep seeing the back and forth on both sides, I like discussing what Biden did and why it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Now, in reality, what should have been done is what Trump did, which was nothing.
Yeah.
Until you bring something of equal or better value to the table, No, because honestly, you cannot just look at this one-sided in the sense of like, well, at least we got an American home. No, once again, Americans are being insanely short-sighted, and you're just looking at the here and now. We got an American back. But who did we release, and what are they going to continue to do? Again, the Obama exchange for the piece of shit Bergdahl, 5 Taliban head leaders that were immediately escorted right back to the battlefield and helped kill more Americans. Yeah. So, yes, great. You got your Brittany Griner back, who, by the way, that's a dude. That is a dude.
I don't know. I saw that picture. I saw that picture that you were talking about with like, I'm going to call him he with his shirt off.
That is a dude.
I think it is.
Yeah,
I think you might be on something there, buddy.
I watched the video of Brittany Griner, which I'm going to show you all the video of Brittany Griner being exchanged, and you see them discuss like they tell him, it's like, you know what's going on. You hear him respond, "That's a dude."
That's what they said?
No, it's just you can hear it's like, I'm really happy to be back. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, I'm just glad to be back in the States.
Yeah, that's a dude, I think, honestly. I'll be real. Like, I feel like when you watch that, you see the Adam's apple, you hear the voice, masculine features, probably on hormones.
Maybe. Wouldn't surprise me. I mean,
that's a dude. You're a dude. I'm a dude. We're all dudes. We're going to be talking more about that. We're going to be taking some calls, too, here in the soon-to-be future. But, bro, it's insane to me that everybody on the left, well, I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people on the left are just celebrating this. Like, oh, we got Brittany Griner back. And I'm fine with being...
I know you get these idiots that are like, if you are a pro-lifer and you don't like that Brittany Griner has come back, then... don't say anything about abortion. I'm like, what?
Bro.
You're against gun laws or want more gun laws, then don't say anything about guns.
Exactly. You just handed over a massive drug or arms dealer. So now it's like, come on. Like, they will go back on their stances when it involves a gay black man or woman. Like, and here's the thing. You cannot deny this is the reason why. And here's the proof. The teacher... For those that don't know, this story broke yesterday, and I did my best to kind of get it out there to my following to show them the hypocrisy of this Biden administration and this prisoner swap they did. His name is, one second, let me find it. I'm not even going to sit here and pretend like I know, like I don't memorize a lot of this stuff. His name is Mark Fogel. Now, Mark Fogel is an American school teacher who quite some time ago, I think 11 months ago, was caught in Russia coming in with half a pound, I think, of medicinal marijuana, which was prescribed to him in America, but it's still illegal in Russia. He's been locked up for 11 months. This guy is white. He's been there longer than Brittany Griner. Very similar arrest. Now they're going to say, well, Brittany Griner only had like 1 or 2 vials of cannabis oil. He had half a pound. Okay, fine. But you're still leveraging an arms dealer, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The amount of marijuana, I'm sorry, that doesn't even compare to weapons being used to kill other people. That doesn't even compare. So it's a very one-sided trade. But again, the Biden administration did this because they got themselves a gay black woman, and they think that's going to score them more votes. And it will, because by and far, black liberals are some of the most easily manipulated people out there I've ever fucking seen. Because white liberals, they puppet dance them left and right. They keep them poor, they keep them coming back, and they throw them these little morsels, these little crumbs of like, oh, look how the elite rich white man loves you people so much. That's not true. That's not true at all. But you fall victim to this. And I already see it on Twitter. All the black liberals out there. Oh, you see, thank you, Joe Biden. Defiant dad, Brooklyn douchebag, same thing. It's like you just released a guy that has killed more Americans, but she's an Olympic medalist. Who gives a fuck?
This is their job. Yeah. That's their job.
They are paid,
and promote this propaganda.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine that they believe half the stuff they're spitting out.
I don't think so either.
Got to go collect a paycheck. Way to go, Biden.
Listen to Karine Jean-Pierre, the White House press secretary. And guys, listen through the words. Listen to what she's saying.
Differently given the nature, treat Paul Whelan, differently given the nature of the totally illegitimate charges they have levied against Paul. Unfortunately, the choice became to either bring Brittany home or no one.
No one.
As the president said this morning, he will never stop working to secure Paul's release and return home, and he will not give up. On a personal note,
Listen.
Brittany is more than an athlete, more than an Olympian. She is an important role model and inspiration to millions of Americans, particularly the LGBTQI plus Americans and women of color.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. It's a joke.
She tries covering it up with these insane charges, or she should never been. That doesn't matter. You broke Russian law. She knew what she was doing. And no, I don't agree with a lot of these blue check influencers on the right that she's still an American. I don't care. These are the same people out there that want to that sit there and tell you from their ivory towers where they're sponsored by GOP conservatives and the big names out there, the same ones that tell you American rhinos are so weak, you're so weak, blah, 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 blah. Then why don't you grab your cojones and fucking stand up for America for once instead of like, well, you know, that being a national American, then that, you know, that exempts you from kind of any kind of repercussions when you travel to a country that you've been there for 6 fucking years and you still break the law and you knew what would happen if you got caught. But no, being you're an American, well then, hey, all bets are off. No wonder the world looks as like American elitists because, again, we sit there and we coddle our own. Oh, it's okay if you go over to Russia and you bring some illegal drugs. We'll just bring you on back. Now, let me ask you this. Is she going to serve any time in America for breaking Russian law? No, she will not.
No.
So all these arguments, like they should serve the time here, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard because I got news for you. Laws over in other countries certainly don't apply to ours in many situations and circumstances. So you explain to me how somebody that, say, for example, goes to Iran and they don't want to wear a hijab and they get extradited back over here, are we putting them in prison? So again, this is liberal ignorance. This is liberal stupidity. And I've seen a lot of conservatives spewing this bullshit too. And I'm like, you nutless fucking wonders, boomer neocon motherfuckers.
Do you think
ridiculous
Zelensky and the Ukrainians are just like watching
the
Merchant of Death walk back into Russia?
You know, you make a very good point there because I guarantee this dude is going to start funneling more weaponry into the Ukraine war, and it ain't going to be just for the Russians.
Yeah.
It ain't going to be, because again,
he's back in business.
He's back in business.
He knew he was going to get out eventually.
Looks like AK-47s are back on the menu, boys.
Dude, 60 Minutes did a piece on this guy, like, I don't know, back in 2009 or 2000, something like that. And they're like, yeah, this is the worst human being in the entire world.
Yeah.
He is like
the worst arms show yesterday. Yeah.
He's the worst arms dealer ever.
Yeah.
And they go through all this footage of him, like, he had like a fleet of 60 jumbo jets that he could pinpoint where he would drop these weapons.
Jesus.
So he did that all over the world, all over Africa. I mean, the war-torn Sierra Leone.
Yep.
I mean, just
it's crazy.
What
I love how
they were like.
I like how Karine Jean-Pierre is just kind of like, well, that's the only option they gave us. No, that's not. That actually broke. Paul Whelan's lawyer came out and said, no, that's not true. Biden administration changed the negotiation, and then they said, okay, well, this is your only option now. It's Brittany Griner or nobody. The Biden administration, he cannot broker a deal. So when they say things like it was Brittany Griner or nobody, then nobody.
Yeah.
That's called making a fucking deal. We got shafted. Now, I know instantly conservatives are going to go after this whole white Marine thing. I get it. But the Biden administration is trying to run interference on this by saying it will, you know, he's facing more and more severe charges. And liberals are over there already saying, like, well, he was caught as a spy. He knew what he was getting into when he signed up for it. So did Brittany Griner when she put the fucking weed in her suitcase. You stupid liberal idiots. You morons. You sit there and you defend this because, again, at heart, all you are, you're not idealists. You're just contrarians, as are many in the MAGA crowd. So let's call them both out for the ignorance they both display all the fucking time because you got no intellectual consistency whatsoever. Ugh, you fucking schmucks. Fucking schmucks. But anyway.
I mean, I think going after Americans who are stuck over in these countries and prisons and stuff like that, there should be a continued dialogue with that, but not for the Merchant of Death.
Fuck no. And in the comment section, Saudis did get involved, but it's still you negotiating the deal by proxy of somebody else.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If the Saudis come back to us like, hey, here's the deal. You're going to give up $20 and all you're getting is a candy bar. It's like, no, that's not a good deal. That's not a good deal at all. Now, you can increase that to where it's like, okay, you're going to give up $1 million and all you're getting is a gay black athlete that hates America. It's like, no, sorry, just not worth it. No. Not gonna happen.
Not worth it.
Not worth it, no. But I do love how Karine Jean-Pierre says, she's more than an athlete.
Is she?
Really? What else is she?
Drug smuggler.
Drug smuggler? I mean, actually, I'm not even going to go down there because I don't fucking care. It's like,
I don't
who gives a shit about that? But just the idea of, like you said, I guarantee they can't even name the team she plays on.
The state. Name me what state she played basketball in.
Yeah.
Besides USA.
Yep. So again, this was intersectional bingo for the Biden administration. You can't even hide it. And this is going to create more racism towards black people and the LGBT. Because again, this is the premier example of black gay privilege in America. Oh, you can't censor me, Twitch. Sorry. I know you're not going to like to hear that. It's me. Fuck you, Elmo. You can't censor me over here, you cucklords. How are all your panelists doing? Are all the black trans people like melting down over there? Because you got a heterosexual white dude? I thought about, Josh and I need to take a picture because I saw this photo that's on the Instagram. It's a promoted thing like, shop black Asian-owned business. It was a black Asian girl. You and I need a photo together like a black and white smile. It's like white veteran-owned business. And if that offends you...
Cis white male.
You're
going to love it.
We're going to do that today. We need to do that today. I'm all about it. Let's fucking do it. This business is white-owned. And if that makes you offended, I don't fucking care.
I know. And we're in winter now, so I'm extra white.
We're super pasty.
My tan is completely gone.
My Anglo-Saxon heritage is really showing through. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So
what is
Amiri?
Yeah.
He should be calling in soon. Let me text him real quick, tell him to call in. There we go. Just hold him. Let's go ahead and shift over to the news. And here you've got the scene of Brittany Griner being exchanged. That's the tall dude on the left right there. If you're watching on Rumble, that's the tall dude on the left with the red sweater or red jacket with the bald haircut. And there you got the merchant of death, the short dude with the mustache. Let's give this a look.
Do you know how many files your employees have uploaded?
Let's get through this ad real quick. Nobody gives a shit about this. 10-second ad. Oh my God, I hate these things. I sincerely hate these things. Penis. Okay, here we go. You got Brittany Griner walking across the tarmac. That's a dude. That is such a dude. And then you see Merchant of Death. He's over there. His Russian counterpart gives him a good old hug. We're back in business, comrade. Welcome back.
I know, look.
And then they take...
It goes right in for the bro hug. Look.
Goes right in for the bro hug. And this dude, he's a hero to them.
Yep.
Brittany Griner goes over there. I think it's their Saudi counterparts. And they're just looking at this guy like, what the fuck? Like, America got shafted on this deal.
I know. I'm surprised he didn't, like, pull out a gun and hand it to him immediately.
Do you know how many files...
Here you go, my friend.
Oh, my gosh.
Here's some vodka and the 9mm.
Yeah. And then you got Brittany Griner
Go
here.
shoot some Ukraines.
Oh, my God. Listen to Brittany Griner here. Well, I don't think you'll be able to hear it. It's just a very, very deep voice. Very deep voice. And there's no denying this is a dude. And, you know, why hasn't this made news? You figure this would be also out there as well, because let's tack on the trans thing for the intersectional minority bingo. I mean, that's part of it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But that's where we're at. This was a definite lopsided trade. So again, I go back to my initial point of when people say, well, what were they supposed to do? Nobody? Well, yeah.
Yeah, nobody.
It doesn't mean you have to make the deal right now.
Merchant of Death. I mean...
He kills people.
Could you think of a more...
We're getting a basketball player? Like, are you kidding me?
A worse name?
Oh, my God. Well, hey.
Who's after you? The Merchant of Death? You're like, oh, my God. You better go into hiding.
I will say this, though. At least now the WNBA can stop crying because they finally got the attention they've been looking for. That's about all there is to it. Finally, people are starting to talk about you, but it's not because you're good at shooting. It's just that we trade you for people that are good at shooting. It's the truth. Laugh, you fuckers. It's funny. Oh, my gosh. Thank you. I appreciate that. Right. Well, hey, if you're not following me on Twitter, it's JuanBurke1775. Go give it some love. We appreciate that because, again, it helps us out. It's a direct line to the consumers of the podcast. You guys are freaking incredible. And also, I don't know who this Juan Burke guy is, but again, Juan Burke 1775, just JUANBURK 1775. This guy really knows his stuff.
He's on fire.
For being an illegal immigrant, like he is really in touch with American politics. It's crazy. He just says some very off the wall yet very truthful stuff.
Yeah.
Got to respect that.
Spot on.
Spot on. Got to respect that. At least he has the cojones to do that. I mean, the balls to do that.
Yeah.
Ole.
Ole.
Again, that is Juan Burke, 1775. Appreciate that love and support. All right, we're going to keep going with the news. All right. So for those that don't know, last night on Twitter, Twitter Files numero dos dropped. Twitter Files 1 dropped, I think, a few days ago, and basically outlined and described the levels of depravity the Twitter employee group went to censor and silence people, specifically regarding the Hunter Biden laptop story. Elon released these files that were also manipulated by that FBI guy, the lawyer they fired. He went in there and deleted a lot of evidence, which again, he should be brought up on charges. They should sue him for that is destruction of property, company property. Whether people realize it or not, it's true. And then Twitter 2.0 or Twitter Files 2.0 last night, or version 2 rather, part dos. He said it went straight to voicemail.
Oh, it did? Oh, my bad. Hang on.
Hold on. He's going to fix it. God, Josh, what the fuck?
Okay, all right.
All right, he's going to try again.
I got it.
Should have Amiri calling in. I'm going to let Amiri know that we are definitely uncensored. He can say whatever the hell he wants to say, and I think he's absolutely going to love that.
All right. Amiri?
Yes, this is Victor Bout.
What's going on, brother?
I am very good now that I am free.
So what are your plans? Now that you've been freed, there's just a lot of people that seem to care more about a gay black athlete than you. So what are your plans now?
Same plans I have every day. Try to take over the world. What's up?
Keep in mind, bro. We are on Rumble. We're uncensored. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say over here. They're not going to ban us. They're not going to censor us. So you can really speak your mind over here.
Okay.
So, all right. He's like, when do I not? Well, you won't get banned. So that's a great thing. But no, what are your thoughts on what's going on with Brittany Griner here?
I did a little video about it, and I think that my point can be a bit misconstrued because I kind of went into the identity politics of it all, which I try to stay away from. But I think it's absolutely 100% true. I know it helps too that she is, essentially more well known than the 2 teachers in the Marine that are still over there. Of course, she's in WNBA, even though we make fun of it and stuff. I mean, it's still so. But I think that plays a small part, but I also think there's almost like the press secretary provides. It's because she's there not because she's qualified, because she's black and because she's gay and that she's marginalized. Yeah, and it's a virtue signal of all virtue signals. So yeah, I think that Brittany Griner is free now, and not the Marine or the other 2 teachers because they're white, they're straight, they're not stars.
Yeah. Yeah, and it feels like with Karine Jean-Pierre, when she talked about it yesterday, she literally said at the end of her interview that, Brittany Griner is more than an athlete. She's black. She's part of the LGBT. And it's like, so? Like, I was talking to Josh.
Did she really say she was black?
Yeah, or people of color. Same thing. That's like the liberal version of saying she's black.
All right.
So that's the funny part about that. It's like, just come out and say it. Come out and say, because they
didn't realize that was the most important person.
Well, they try and generalize all the minorities so they can come together. So if you say anything about one, then you're saying everything about them all. And that's what they do. That's how they're very conniving when they do this. They're very slippery little snakes. So, but my point, Amiri, is that I think we're looking at this the wrong way. Because if you and I are going to do a trade, that trade, I think in both of our minds, needs to be that we are giving and receiving something of similar, if not equal, value. Well, anybody can take a look at Brittany Griner and compare it to the Merchant of Death and say that's clearly not the same and that's not of equal value in terms of how bad this guy is. And I'll be honest, when people try and bring Trump into it, it's like, why didn't Trump do anything? Because to be frank, this Marine and the teachers, they don't compare to the Merchant of Death. So there should be no trade until Russia brings something much more valuable to us to the table. And I'm sorry, releasing this guy that is responsible for killing Americans in the Middle East. No, I'm sorry. And it sucks that these Americans are in jail in Russia. But again, we can't be continuously let ourselves get screwed on the international stage, because I think this sends a very telling message to the rest of the world that, hey, if you grab one of our black LGBT celebrities, we're going to bend over for you.
Yes. We don't negotiate with terrorists, but unless you have a marginalized, oppressed victim of our country, yeah, I agree. And I would have never, let's say that it was the King administration, I would have never in my life released or negotiated with Victor Bout. They would have been completely off the table.
Yeah.
He's not, he doesn't play in the fucking Russian NBA league, or he's not a golfer. I mean, You know what I'm saying? He's a high profile terrorist essentially. He's funded wars. And
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it doesn't surprise me though, because I really feel like Biden again is going to slam dunk with this to where he's trying to win back more of the black gay vote.
Right. Well, something that I want to step back just a second because you were talking about because they're black and not white and things like that. Man, it was like one of these rappers. I think it was Waka Flocka Flame. I think that's his name, or Wiz Khalifa. One of them.
Sounds like a Sesame Street character.
It does. It's fucking retarded. I couldn't name one song, but he had a great point. Mm-hmm. He said, "When I travel overseas, he goes, the only place that has white people or black people is America." He said, "When I'm overseas and you see a white person, you're like, okay, where are you from? Like Australia, England, Russia. When you see a black person, you're like, where are you from? You from Senegal? Are you from Sudan?" He said, "Only in America is it white and black." Because I'm not white. I'm Irish Scottish. And John, I think you're Irish as well.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, when people say white, I mean, there's Russian, Slavic, German, Russian. Like, we didn't just.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. We didn't just sprout from a Klan meeting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
I heard when you rub two crosses together when they're burning, it basically an Amiri King pops out, or anybody on the Republican side of the house pops out.
I've heard the same shit. It's actually true.
It's when a mommy Klans member and a daddy Klans member love each other very much. No, that's ridiculous. But no, you make a very, very good point. That, I mean, let's take, for example, and we've discussed this previously, is where, why do we say African American? They're not from Africa. They're from America.
No,
they're black Americans. So when I say, we don't say Anglo-Saxon. We don't say Anglo-European. We don't say white Irish.
I don't call myself an Irish American. I'm Irish. You know what I'm saying? I'm an American.
Right.
And I see black people as an American. Anybody who's here, like there was a comedian way back in the day. He was a Russian comedian. He said, "I can't go to Australia and become Australian Russian. I can't go to Africa and become African Russian." He said, I can't go to Germany and become German Russian. He said, "But I come to America," and he goes, "I am Russian American, American Russian, whatever you want to paint it." But and that's true. And I'm, so I'm proud to be an American.
Yeah. Well, it definitely feels like a lot of the left is trying to just really tarnish being an American. It's like they're so ashamed of the atrocities that America's committed in the past that they want to just hold us all to that standard and say, this is what America is. We're not a good country. It's like, well, you show me this utopia that does not have blood on its hands. Like, it doesn't exist.
Now do China.
Do China.
Well, when I watch the midterms and I see people voting blue in this fucking economy where I can't get any fucking baby formula and I can't afford gas and groceries are double, I'm looking at this and I'm like, we have a retard problem. People are fucking. I can use the R word. All four of my daughters are retarded.
Oh yeah.
But how in the fuck are people still voting blue? It's a fucking cult.
It is. Well, I mean, to be fair, it's the same reason people are going to vote Trump no matter what. It's the same on both sides.
There's Trump loyalists out there, man, and you kind of. I was super big Trump guy, and you kind of shook me from that because you were like Trump loyalist. And I say it all the time. I always mention your name. I said, when people say, "Are you Republican or Democrat?" I was like, "No, I'm more of a constitutionalist." So I would get that from John Burke. John Burke's kind of rubbed that off on me all over my chest and stuff. That, hey, you're a constitutionalist,
especially between his legs.
Yes, he rubbed it all over.
Luscious titties.
But if you look at if you really look at and John, you know more about the Constitution and our founding fathers' documents more than I do. I think you're more well versed in that. But if you really look at it, look at the Electoral College and look at the Declaration of Independence and our Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the First 10 Amendments, our forefathers were fucking geniuses.
Yeah,
absolute Elon Musk geniuses.
Yeah. I mean, because they were literally, not even that many generations prior, they were still being handed down the lessons of Puritans evacuating the Church of England for religious persecution. Yeah, well, these guys basically had taken the best of all governments they had seen around the world and said, hey, we're going to throw this all together, and this is the best thing we've got so far. And it is. As far as how country governments are organized, we've got the best. It's just the problem is we have corporatism that has replaced capitalism. But you're dead on the money, man. They knew what they were doing. When liberals try and argue this idea of how the Second Amendment is antiquated and they were only referring to muskets, well, then let's apply that to the First Amendment and the printing press. It's that Constitution is a living document, And by order of the Constitution, it can be amended if the process is respected in regards to the 2/3 majority and stuff like that. So in so saying that, then liberals have to acknowledge it is a living document, and it can apply to contemporary situations that we're currently facing, say, for example, with semi or fully automatic weapons. No, the Second Amendment encompasses all, because the principle of the Second Amendment is to oppose a potentially tyrannical government. That's why Joe Biden and the rest of these morons out there keep saying, "You don't need Kevlar vest, don't wear Kevlar vest, you got no business." That's because Biden is afraid that those same weapons will be used against him and his administration if he goes too far. And that's the fear that the government should have of a well-armed people. So when liberals argue this, what it secretly is they're okay with the government leading them as long as it's their government. But when it was Trump, we didn't really see the gun stuff being really brought to the forefront too much. It was more along the lines of like, oh no, we get it now. But as soon as they got the king and power of their, Lord Biden, well then let's get rid of the guns, which makes no sense.
Right. It's it's an opportunity for them to hide behind their fucking retarded leader. I'm gonna use the R word a lot.
We say retarded all the time here too. Yeah.
Well, you're retarded for saying that, because that was a test to see if you were going to be anti-retard. Right now, you're being very retardophobic. I think that this phobic shit. I think people have ran out of shit to bitch about, because you know what I'm saying. I'm not homophobic. I don't care. Yeah. But they demonize it. It's okay if there's some people out there that are uncomfortable with gay people. I mean, are we gonna condemn people that are claustrophobic or arachnophobic, or afraid of spiders? Like, oh my God, you're afraid of spiders. You're a terrible person. Some people there are Islamophobic people out there. There are transphobic, and I'm none of the three, but some people are. And why do we demonize fucking everything? I thought mental health was like, oh.
Because I said something the other day, and I really like it. It's basically that I said that Democrats don't have enemies. Democrats make enemies. That's the difference. Because realistically, there was a time that the Conservative Party was against homosexuality. But we have definitely progressed in a much more accepting direction, a much more tolerant direction. And now the narrative has changed. It's no longer acceptance and tolerance. Now it's like you have to agree with it, and if you don't, you're a bigot. It's like, okay, so now you violated your party's own golden rule that you were trying to shove down everybody's throats now. So now if we don't accept you, we're bigots. And then it goes into, what if I have a theological belief against homosexuality? Well, you're a Christian bigot. Oh, well then what about Islam? And then they got nothing.
Yeah, then it's different, because now you're being Islamophobic, you fucking retard.
And that's why it's just, again, they're at heart, they're contrarians. They back themselves, they pigeonhole themselves into these corners they can't get out of. Because again, like I said, when you hit them with Islam, well, they can't say anything, because then by their own admission and the monster they created, they will get eaten alive as being Islamophobic.
My personal opinion on it is I think Democrats are continuously trying to replace their voters.
How so?
Well, I mean, my stepdad, for instance, was always a Democrat and voted for Obama the first time. And then after he saw what a shitty job he did, then he, went the other direction, conservative.
Yeah.
So I think there's people like him who, he's a construction worker, just blue collar worker, worked hard all of his life, just believed in the Democratic dream, and just kept seeing how politicians are scumbags over and over again. And finally changed him, and then he became a big Trump supporter.
Yeah.
So I think they're continuously trying to replace those people who just got sick of the Democratic Party and just their ideology and how extreme left they go, where all of a sudden it's your sexuality. That's the most important thing that we're concerned about right now.
Oh, look at Brittany Griner. They literally just proved like everybody was their narrative.
Everybody was against gay marriage until when? They needed more voters.
I want to say like in the early 2000s, like conservatives really started to progress more in the direction of acceptance and understanding.
I'm talking about Democrats.
Oh, fuck,
Democrats. It wasn't even until Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, because there were sound bites
2012.
Biden, Hillary, all of them. Scenes from back in the 80s and 90s where they were like, no, like that's gay marriage should not be legal.
So I think they make these things up, like these transgender. Like transgender isn't like, it was never a thing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that big of a deal, especially in youth.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you got all these trans youth. I think you just have more perverts molesting kids.
Well, I think it's a fad. I really think it's a fad.
I don't think it's a fad. I think you have more adults molesting kids and confusing these children.
Well, both can be mutually true.
They can.
What were you saying, Amiri?
Dude, with all this talk going back and forth, I was listening to both of you, and I wrote a joke in my head.
Well,
and I think it's hilarious. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it here for the first time. What do you call a gay black Muslim wearing windbreaker pants?
What?
A retard. I'm going to work on it. Hey, okay, John, look, the midterms for all your listeners out there, I got to play Texas with Mustard here. We won the House, right?
Yeah.
And we lost a Senate seat?
What do we lose as far as Senate goes? We didn't take it back, that's for sure. It's still left.
It stayed the same.
It stayed the same pretty much, yeah.
Wow,
so it's 51-49.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't matter too much but going into the 2024 election, Democrats have a lot more Senate seats up.
Yeah.
So I think they have 23 Senate seats up.
Right?
Yeah.
What's up?
Nancy Pelosi's out.
Yeah, she's out. Yeah, she's out.
She's out. She's gone. She's gone like Hunter Biden's laptop. She is MIA.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Have you heard back anything about your Twitter suspension?
Dude, I got something that says we're not I almost sent you the screenshot. I'm glad you brought it up. So I got something back from Twitter just randomly last week, and it goes, "We are not reinstating your account because you targeted people." I've never done that.
I got the same thing.
It's huge. Yeah, okay, then you got it's a huge term of service to use your following against people. You can't say, "All right, everybody, let's go, bomb their account with hate or whatever the fuck." Huge thing you can't do. So I said, well, I've never targeted anybody, so I'm still appealing. And Project Veritas just got theirs back. So if they just got theirs back, I think like yesterday or something, I think they're starting with a lot of more high profile shit.
They are. Yeah. Laura Loomer got unbanned, and she annoys me.
Click of a button, and it can just, release us all from our, free my people. Moses.
Hey, Amiri, how many followers did you have on Twitter? I thought you were up around like a million.
Right at 100K.
Oh, 100K?
Yeah, he was
still
growing.
alive.
Oh, dude, no. Let me tell you something. If I was a liberal and was on there spouting hate at, fucking any motherfucker conservative, I'd have millions. I'd be rich. I'd have millions of followers. But I went true to myself, and apparently that's just against the grain. And so here I am.
Well, I want you to sit in on this, Amber, if you got time, because I'm not sure if you've seen the new Twitter files that have been released. As of last night, the Twitter files that were released last time basically talked about the suppression of the Hunter Biden laptop story on Twitter with high influence from the FBI and government officials saying squish this because they basically categorized it under the hacked breach to where if hacked material was exposed, that violates their terms of service policy, which this was not a hack.
All that. Yeah, I followed you for that.
Well, here's the second one that was just released. This is coming from Breitbart. It says, Twitter Files reveals shadow banning other tools used to censor conservatives. A new Twitter Files investigation has released the many tools that company executives employed to blacklist and shadow ban conservative voices. The thread posted to Elon Musk's platform reveals that the internal Twitter name for shadow banning is visibility filtering. Released by former New York Times reporter Bari Weiss in yet another lengthy Twitter thread, the revelations on Thursday show that several mainstream conservative voices from Charlie Kirk to Jan Bongino were shadow banned by the social media company under the rubrics of visibility filtering, or VF. At one point, Twitter even placed Stanford professor Dr. Jay Bhattacharya under the label of Trends Blacklist for arguing that coronavirus lockdowns would harm children. Per Weiss says, Twitter once had a mission to give everyone the power to create and share ideas and information instantly without barriers. Along the way, barriers nevertheless were erected. Take, for example, Stanford's Dr. J. Well, I don't want to repeat this, but essentially there's screenshots, Amri, in this Twitter release of the back-end Twitter account of, say, for example, Dan Bongino or Charlie Kirk, and you're seeing that they have these people targeted. And, when I see this breaking, it's like, yeah, this is nothing new. We knew this, but at least now we have the receipts. And of course, in the comments, you still see liberals arguing this, because they didn't want to magnify white nationalist hate speech.
Oh, of course, that's the shield. That's the hate speech. Anything to disagree with, everything that should be. It's a made up word for to censor something. It's a reason. It's an excuse. So I'm saying it right. Let me tell you, on Twitter, that I don't. My YouTube videos are fucking stupid. All right, my Instagram posts are pretty fucking retarded. My TikToks, I'm shit posting. I was proud of my Twitter. I'm a dangerous motherfucker on Twitter to the left. Well,
people don't get it. That's why I was begging you, create another account. Don't wait. Create another account. Get back in there, because I swear to God, folks, outside of James Woods, when I have to create another Twitter, which is all the fucking time, Amiri was the first one I'm going for because Amiri goes for blood on Twitter. Like, you watch Amiri's TikTok videos and your YouTube videos, you've got that very good sense of humor, but you've got some fucking cutting edge wit when it comes to your tweets.
Thank you.
I'll suck your dick later.
Telling me something I already fucking know. I'm just playing. No, and dude,
and he's so humble too, folks.
I was out there fighting by myself, and here you come. I'm like, about time, motherfucker. And then now we're both banned. I want to make another one, John, but here's the thing. I'm about to get my 4th TikTok banned. I got a warning today. My Instagram's hanging by a thread, and I'm getting to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of going to a bar, and they keep kicking me out, and I keep trying to get in. And at some point, I'm going to a different bar. Yeah. Which is, I've seen you jumped over to Rumble. Yeah. I know you lost your Twitch. I'm assuming you never got your YouTube back.
Nope.
Man, that is a fuck. How many followers do you have? You got over 300,000 subs, didn't you?
Yeah, we were up there and growing. They definitely
like 320.
They shadow banned us too. Or I'm sorry, they visually challenged us or whatever the fuck they call out, or the AV. visibly filtered us, and I never got my YouTube button. Those cocksuckers. You owe me a YouTube button, you motherfuckers. No wonder people shoot up your studio. Oh, did I say that? They can't censor me over here. They don't censor me over here. It's great. So I love because now we can actually
start a podcast, man. The only reason I don't is because I gotta set it all up. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Retarded.
Yeah, so you're retarded is what it is. You should definitely do it. But again, the thing that I really like about the whole Twitter thing is that Elon has opened he's basically pulled the curtain back so you can see how the inner workings are. But what I think people also don't realize, or maybe they do, is that this is exactly how Facebook and Instagram are. This is no different.
Listen, if and I hate to make this so personal.
Go ahead.
For me to say this, but I'm saying I had a lot of high hopes when Elon took, with the acquisition of Twitter, and then some things I don't like the way I'm like, God damn, he just has an ego trip, motherfucker. Like, God, if Twitter doesn't reinstate me, and I hate that this come off so personal towards Elon, but I really don't have any respect for him. Yeah. Like, I mean, I respect him as he's a genius. I like the guy. I think he's an interesting life, but as far as like, damn, dog, I did nothing wrong. Yeah. And, you're kind of my barrier between my fucking free speech now and being able to express myself. I know it's a private company, but still. But
no, I agree. Well, to be fair, I was made aware of the fact that Elon did an interview not too long ago where he said the process of reinstating, a lot of these accounts, it's going to take a few weeks. So
I don't have a few weeks. That's retarded.
I'm like you though, man. I see him do a lot of good things. He's reinstating these popular accounts. That's great and all. But what about the other like small accounts? What about the people with 100 followers, 1,000 followers that literally just being, right of left got them banned? They're just as important. Bring them all back. So it's kind of like
I cannot think of one Twitter account more important than mine. I sat here and thought about it.
100%.
Well, Project Veritas would be a close second. But no, I'm actually glad that Project Veritas, they do. Them motherfuckers put in some work. So for them to be unbanned on Twitter is a fucking win for every American. I'm
telling you, Twitter is going to take over if Elon continues down this path and he stays true to his word and he does reinstate the accounts and things such as that. This is why I feel like the White House is getting involved. They're trying to go after Twitter. Is that number one, Elon has got so much dirt on world politicians, not just American ones, but he basically has back-end access to all the political corruption. Because even in these Twitter files, point 2 that came out, there is clear, they said, it is confirmed there was election meddling and tampering. There was manipulation of information. They were suppressing conservative politicians. This has been proven true. So it's like, okay, Republicans that now have the House, what are we doing about it?
Yeah, that, and they could read all of your DMs too.
So no send the dicky pics on the Twitter.
So like, anybody that sent a message through Twitter is obviously a retard.
Yeah.
Well, I know that Elon said that he was wanting to make Twitter, obviously the town square for public opinion, things like that. Also, he was going to add banking, a few other things. Yeah, kind of like to make it like
all in one.
Look like this. So Instagram or YouTube starts, Facebook starts a live thing, and then Twitter. I don't know who chronology did it first. Then Twitter does Periscope. And then YouTube does like whatever one app does. One app's like, okay, I'll do it, but I'll do it better. They all kind of do the same shit. You see how it goes. Yeah. But he's trying to make Twitter for banking, for this town hall, and for bring creators over there and monetize them and shit. Yep. Man, this would save my life. Yeah. I went from making $80,000 a month, and I was making about 10 of that on YouTube, dude, I'm lucky to make $400 a month on YouTube.
Yeah.
And John, you're making zero off YouTube, so I got to knock on wood over here.
That's why come over to Rumble. Rumble, here's the other thing. You don't, as long as you don't call for anything that breaks the law, they let you post whatever you want. I've got contacts in Rumble. I'll definitely connect you if you're interested. And you can post all your videos there.
One. You told me to. And I don't like it, if that makes any sense. I don't get it. And maybe I just need more time to sit on there and mess around. But,
you do, yeah. It's kind of complicated at first, but once you figure it out, it's easy. Like it's a different user interface, and they're in their infancy. They're growing. They're working on a lot of stuff. But the biggest thing for me is like they don't censor people. They don't limit your following. It's what you post is what you post.
Yeah.
I mean, because honestly, dude, what's the alternative? What's the alternative at this point?
Well, I can suck dick for, I can make
well, you're already doing that. And the cool thing is you can import all your YouTube videos. You can import all your YouTube videos over to Rumble.
Yeah, but I have to do it, one by one?
No. You literally link your YouTube account to your Rumble account and it does it for you.
Oh, really?
Yes. Everything gets transferred over. I should have done it with
monetized.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you got to build your following over there, though.
Yeah, but I don't need a following. I'm already a superstar. Super retard. So what's on the agenda today? What are you fellas talking about? Hey, you just got 700 reviews on this show, did you? Yeah. We've got over 700 great reviews from people listening to the podcast, and we're really appreciative of that. It's crazy. That is a lot. That's a fucking lot. Well, the next article, if you want to stick around, you're welcome to, because the next article we've got is let me finish the Twitter files one. They said, you remember that doctor or that, her name's Vijay or whatever her name is. The Twitter. The black woman? Yeah. Yeah, there was speaking out and said ivermectin or one of those things would help. But she's like, she treats that shit all the time. No, this was Twitter's Vijay Gade, the head of the legal policy and trust. Remember when she went on Joe Rogan and said, no, we're not censoring anybody. And she basically, her and the rest of them lied through their teeth. Well, wasn't Timcast on there with her? Do what? Wasn't Timcast on there with her? Yeah, he was, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. They said, we control visibility quite a bit, and we control the amplification of your content quite a bit, and normal people do not know how much we do, said one anonymous engineer, which 2 other Twitter employees confirmed. Twitter denied that it does no such thing. In 2018, Twitter's Vijaya Gade, the then head of the legal policy and trust, and Kayvon Bakepor, head of product, said, we do not shadow ban. They added, and we certainly don't shadow ban based on political viewpoints or ideology. What many people call shadow banning, Twitter executive employees call visibility filtering, or VF. So that's their way of like dancing around that. It's like, it's the same fucking thing. You just call it something different. And that's what I love about liberals. Like, you split hairs, but you know you're wrong. You're like intellectually dishonest. And that's why I hate debating liberals. But it continues. They said, think about visibility filtering as being a way for us to suppress what people see to different levels. It's a very powerful tool. One senior Twitter employee told us, VF refers to Twitter's control over user visibility. It used VF to block searches of individuals' users, to limit the scope of a particular tweet's discoverability, to block select users' posts from ever appearing on the trending page, and from inclusion in hashtag searches. This was also done on Facebook, because I had like 600, 700,000 on Facebook. I could make a post and maybe 10 people would see it. This shit exists, and they censor and they pull this stuff down. They did it with the Hunter Biden laptop story. So yeah, they could have been a private company at one time, but they're not. They have government protection under Article 230. Until that's done away with, until they go off public trading platform, they are public companies. Therefore, these people should be taken. Go ahead. See, Hunter Biden, excuse me. Elon Musk has openly said that he was going to shadow ban accounts that were spewing hate. You saw this tweet. And so now I'm hoping it's something if somebody's on there like, you know what? N-word, F-word. Okay, yeah, I don't want to fucking see that. Yeah. But I mean. So, but all you got to do is really, block that. Yeah, exactly. That's why there's a block button. I agree. I can block that. I don't have to see that shit. Or I can put in keywords. Okay. I don't want to see all this
Yeah, but
whatever.
that did concern me too when I saw Elon say that, because he talked about, we're going to limit the reach of people that have like hateful conduct. It's like, well, Elon, what's hateful conduct? Like you're going back on what you were saying you were going to do. He's not a free speech absolutist. I mean, nobody really is on social media. You can't be. You have to have terms of services. But even still, these terms of services can be common sense approaches and making people aware of, like, when you come on this platform, you're going to get exposed to some very different opinions, probably offensive opinions, and it is on you, the user, to block and mute the conversations of people you don't want to see. And I think that's perfectly fair. But when you make Elon Musk the arbiter of what is classified as hate speech and what is not, I mean, the age-old saying goes, like, one man's hate speech is another man's religion. So what gives him the right? So that's, you bring that up. You bring a very good point there. It's like, I am concerned that Elon is not going to stay true to his supposed free speech absolutist views.
Yeah, because I don't think that he's going to like, I'm going to use me as an example. I think that he would consider me hate speech. That's my fear.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so, man. I've seen him actively engaging with the likes of many big conservative accounts out there that the left does consider white supremacists, white nationalists, which clearly not true at all. But the fact that Elon's interacting with them, your content is cutting edge, but it never crosses the line in the realm of actual proof of, oh, he's a white supremacist or, oh, he's an actual racist. There's a difference in like cutting edge humor that actually makes some really good points versus somebody, say, like, Ilhan Omar saying it's all about the Benjamins and clearly being anti-Semitic. There's a difference there.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Well, listen, I'm going to get back to the kiddos. I appreciate the invite online. This has been amazing. I want y'all to continue on where y'all were before I rudely interrupted, but I got to tell y'all one more thing. John, can you please start being nice to liberals? And I'm going to tell you why. You want to know why?
Why?
It's not nice to pick on retards.
I knew it was something retarded.
I'm out of here. Y'all have a good show, baby.
Later, brother. Thanks for calling in. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Amiri King calling in. You can go follow him on Instagram. Look up Amiri King or The King Has Spoken. He gets banned so many times. He's like me. This guy has some really great humor. He was the one that used to do the, I think the early 2000s videos on YouTube about the Chevy Silverado. It's like because of like hauling loads, not taking them. He's
hilarious.
He's fucking great on Twitter. I hope he goes back. I told him, I was like, dude, you and me on Twitter would fucking kill it. We'd kill it. But all right, moving on. In regards to the Twitter 2.0 files, the next article is Stanford's Dr. Bhattacharya, excuse me for mispronouncing that, Bhattacharya, says, I want to know if the government officials told Twitter to blacklist me. They have directed censorship before, which, if you have government involving itself in free market enterprise and trade to silence opposing viewpoints, what is that called, ladies and gentlemen? Come on, folks. This is a little teaching moment. Daddy Savage, sit down. I'm going to teach you something. What is this? What is this called when government gets involved in free trade or the likes of MSM or social media to pressure and influence people to be silenced and censored? What is that called?
Communism?
Nah, it's related to closely. It's one of those effects that comes as a result, if not before.
They're all the same thing. Fascism, communism. Social.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I think if you like
that is a violation of the First Amendment. If the government is getting involved, that is a direct violation of the First Amendment. Yeah. Now, if Twitter themselves, without any government interference, chose to censor, that's on them. But if there's government involvement that is saying censor that, that's fascism and it's against the First Amendment.
Yeah.
That is 100% accurate. If Twitter did it on their own, that's not a violation. But when the government comes in and says yes, because remember, it's the government, those amendments are written geared towards. The government is not allowed to do that to you.
I thought they'd went in front of Congress and had to testify about this stuff.
That doesn't mean dick all. They get up there and they lie through their teeth and then nothing happens.
Lying to Congress is against
perjury.
the law.
Yeah, but what happens to them? Steve Bannon gets 6 months for like basically saying, I'm not going to appeal the subpoena, no.
Yeah.
Or I'm not going to adhere to it. So he gets 6 months. But you got these other douchebags like the Zuckerbergs and the rest of them. They're saying, no, we're not doing it. And they are. You lied to Congress. I'm sorry, but I thought that was perjury. You're under oath. And then when you lie about it, shouldn't you be brought up on charges?
You'd think. I mean, this is a pretty big deal.
Yeah. And then when you got like the likes of the Ted Cruz and everybody's like, haul him up to Congress to testify. That doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
You just get sound bites. You don't go after them illegally. So I'm sorry. And then you start to see like these NFT stories break when you come to find out that it was both parties on the take.
Here, it was 2018.
Yeah.
Says he goes in front of Congress and says Twitter does not, let's see. When asked why Twitter suspended conservative commentator Candace Owens for mimicking New York Times reporter Sarah Jones, he argued it would make business. It's in here somewhere.
He did. I mean, they lied.
Yeah.
They freaking lied. So to continue, well, let me know when you got what you're looking for. On Thursday's broadcast of Fox's news channel's Ingram Angle, Stanford University professor of medicine, Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, said he wants to know who placed his Twitter account on a trends blacklist. Real quick, to push pause on that, Libs of TikTok made a post last night and tagged Elon because somebody posted Libs of TikTok back-end view of their account, and it said virtually challenged, whatever, virtual shadow banned, and it said it was still there. And so they tweeted out, I was like, Elon, look at this. It goes, and he responded, like, looking into it now. So a lot of these bans, a lot of these limitations, they're still there.
Yeah.
They're still there. So Elon...
How many people are still working there? Over 3,000, right?
Yeah. But Elon literally just came out yesterday and said, we are going to make it to where you can see your account status. And he's saying this also so people can have a direct look at the back end of their account and say, this is what's happened. This is the reason why I'm whatever. And I think that's the right approach to take.
I do too.
Just simply say, if you are being shadow banned and here's why. You tweeted this or you said this. That's fair because now you're telling the user what they did as long as it basically complies with the common sense terms of services. This is not that complicated. This is really not that complicated. And by the way, the gay joke I made on my other Twitter account, they're not going to let me have it back. Apparently, you can't even have that. It's like, so there's still a lot of the old moderations that are still in place due to flagged words and such, and the order of said flagged words. So just be careful when you're on Twitter because, again, I lost an account. I was up to like 1,500 followers, and I lost that one. So I'm growing it back again.
What was the joke?
We're not streaming on Twitter. Yeah, the dude that talked about, like, he was talking to one of my followers that's gay and said, you know, why do you follow the same party that wants to stone gay people? I was like, I'd love to stone gay people with shell shock CBD products like Delta 8. So it's a play on words.
Yeah.
But apparently Twitter has no sense of humor. The algorithms are very boring, much like Ben Stein's sense of humor.
Yeah, I think he's still probably got a lot of the extreme left. I mean,
he does, but I think he can do a better job going out there and announcing, saying, hey, we're working on this. Please be patient. It's going to take some, and maybe he has, maybe I'm missing it. But I will give him that. But on Thursday's Meet the Nation, Ingram Angle, blah, 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 Dr. Medicine Jay Bhattacharya said he wants to know who placed his Twitter account on a trends blacklist, especially since a lawsuit by the Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt and Louisiana Attorney General Jeff Landry has produced evidence of government officials telling social media platform what to restrict. Bhattacharya said, and I really do wonder how I ended up on I joined Twitter in 2021, August 2021, who told Twitter to put me on a blacklist. I really want to know. He added, I suspect very strongly that there was some government direction of this. I've been involved with this lawsuit brought by the Missouri and Louisiana Attorney General's offices against the Biden administration, and we've uncovered tremendous evidence that there were federal agencies that were directing social media companies about what to censor, even who to censor. Now, if that is actually the case, that this blacklisting was directed by the government against American citizens, that's a direct violation of my civil rights and a direct violation of the First Amendment, and every American should be outraged. He's not wrong here. He's not wrong. He's on the money. Again, and this is what I love about it. The Democrats will sit there and say, how many people got killed because of the misinformation that the conservative right pushed out there? Now, it's like, what misinformation are you talking about? Like, it was proven ivermectin can work. It was proven, like you said, the natural hormone stuff can work.
Yeah.
And now more and more evidence is coming out that the vaccines are not what they're claiming to be. And by the way, there was more evidence that came out and said they didn't test the vaccinations on many different demographics to include pregnant women. They had literally admitted this. Yeah. And still, you brainwashed sheeple, you still echo these same talking points to the left because, again, it's not about actual intellectual integrity. It's about basically being a contrarian. You just want to counter the right. Well, you know what? Then die for all I care. Take the jab, get your heart attack, and fucking keel over because if you're so stupid, you want to walk off that cliff because your Pied Piper Biden is leading you on using your hatred of the right and how racist you think we are and how we're pushing out all this misinformation, yada, 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 then fucking go die. I don't give a shit. Adios. Get the jab several times. Elizabeth Hurley made that post on Instagram and was like, oh, she's wearing a stream bikini. And the caption is, just got my second booster. I feel so great. I hope you fucking keel over with a heart attack, you stupid bitch.
People are still wearing masks.
They still wear masks.
There's stores that have masks recommended on the outside of I'm like
dumbasses. Just dumbasses.
Did y'all not get the memo?
Man, I know it's anecdotal, but I don't know a single person that died from COVID. I know there were some. But to the extent that they were saying that there's millions of people dying, I don't see it. Nobody in my circle. And trust me, I got a very, very wide circle. Now, I'm not saying people didn't die, but it didn't seem like this virus or this virus was nearly as deadly as they painted it out to be for my demographic. And by that, I mean heterosexual white retards.
I knew a couple people in my family that passed away that died from it. So
were they out of shape or overweight or anything?
My uncle was close to 80.
All right, yeah.
And he had some underlying conditions.
Bill Gates came out and said that actually it targeted the elderly and the extreme youth. Yeah.
A cousin who was, she was only 50, but overweight.
There you go.
Yeah. But it was a serious, it's a serious virus. And just like the flu or anything else. But how they went about this stuff, it definitely seemed like it was just... And
come to find out, this was man-made. They made this in the Wuhan lab. The evidence is there. They said they made this, and it definitely makes me wonder, is this part of the depopulation plan they had? If you hear, oh God, I know I'm going to jump into conspiracy theorism pool here.
Is it a conspiracy when Bill Gates gets up in front of a TED Talk and talks about using a vaccine to depopulate the Earth?
Who does COVID take out? The elderly, the overweight, the sick. Because if you're wanting to depopulate, well, then you take the weak ones out first and you let the strong survive.
Yeah.
Is it possible this was rigged? Was this? I'm not sitting here saying it's not. But damn, dude, it's like the breadcrumbs are leading you to the end point, which is maybe. And maybe there. And here's the other part. Here's the other part that's crazy, folks. If they created the COVID, they do have a vaccine that works. I guarantee. Because, yes, if they release this on the world, look at the people like Joe Biden. Didn't kill him.
That's because he got, the weakest version. I would almost guarantee you that they pump those stupid assholes vaccine, but they're not giving it to us. Hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, remdesivir, everything.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think, I forget who it was. I remember it was Dr. Shiva was talking about, I think Chris Cuomo and all these other people. All right, no, it was that black doctor from Houston that was telling everybody to take hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah.
And she was calling out the Cuomo, the news anchor one.
Yeah.
And Chris Cuomo, I think she's like, he was talking about having really bad nightmares, and that's one of the side effects of hydroxychloroquine is having very vivid nightmares. Mm-hmm. So she knew just from that little bit of information that these people are taking hydroxychloroquine. Yeah. And there was emails going out from WikiLeaks that we saw that said that doctors were stocking up on hydroxychloroquine. That's
why the government tried to step in and ban us.
Yeah.
That's another reason why, again, when the government tries to ban something, it's probably the best thing for you.
Yeah, that mask that they had you put it so you would shut the fuck up.
Here, put the sock in your mouth. It's going to help the spread of, prevent the spread of misinformation by putting the sock in your throat. It's fucking ridiculous.
They know it didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Fauci said it himself several times.
Bro, I'm to the point now where I sincerely hope that vigilante justice takes over because we're not getting any justice. It's not happening.
No, being herded.
Yeah, until the people rise up in one unanimous voice and take the arms. Yeah. This shit, bro, we could literally take this country back and do away with all the COVID bullshit. And by the way, we're going to get to this article, but apparently Republicans compromised on a few things. Did some tit for tat trades with the Democrats, and apparently the vaccine mandates in the military are being lifted. As they should never have been imposed. You hear that, Dakota? The same guy that you shook hands with, that you said an incredible human being, he's responsible as well. He didn't stand up and go against it. He didn't stand up for the troopers. Nope.
They're too worried about their pension.
Oh, yeah.
How they're going to
get a job at Raytheon.
That's it. That's all these people. I guess I get it to a certain extent because it's, when you take somebody's livelihood and put that in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Then you got a wife and you have kids and you have bills and all this stuff, and then they're going to make you do this stuff
where you can't say I was just doing my job. That's not an excuse anymore.
I know, but
you got the cops doing the same thing. The cops up in New York City, the NYPD that sat there and they stood outside these restaurants and shit like that, and they closed them down. No,
I think you're right. When you put yourself in that position and take that job, then
you've got to.
That's a big responsibility.
100%. You chose to violate constitutionally protected rights, and no, again, the premise of this pandemic. It was not a worldwide thing to where they make it sound like. It's like they have manipulated the data on Twitter. They blackened out the stories that basically had life-saving information, all because of a narrative. All because of a narrative that was spun, and they wanted to protect it. And people died. You're elderly, they died. Those that you put in the nursing homes that you couldn't go visit, they died. That's how little they care about you. That's how little these world rich elites care about you. until people start realizing that. Like, we're gonna see this over and over and over again. And let's continue with this. Elon Musk calls out Sussman Perkins Coie for attempt to corrupt a presidential election. Twitter owner and CEO Elon Musk called out Democrat-aligned law firm Perkins Coie LLP for its alleged attempt to corrupt presidential election through its role in Russian collusion hoax during the 2016 race. Now remember, Elon even said he did not vote for Trump. So Elon bringing this to the public's eye, I don't think that's favoritism. I think that's justice.
Yeah.
I think that's fair and transparent justice, as it should be. There's Amanda Milius tweets this out. She said, there's a lot more to full transparency, just Russiagate, than getting rid of Baker, but it's a big step. See vids and you'll understand why it's not being posted by Cash on Twitter. Elon Musk responded saying, Twitter isn't using Perkins Coie. No company should use them until they make amends for Sussman's attempt to corrupt a presidential election. This is Elon Musk, and he's got all the files that support this.
Yeah.
He just needs to continue releasing all this information, and I hope he's got some really good security. I hope he's got some very good security, because they're going to come after him. He will be one of those that, and they will make no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They will try and take him out. Yeah. They will. And no one's going to know who did it. But we know it's someone in the Biden administration. It's Biden himself.
Yeah.
Take him out. He's going to release all this information, and watch they take it out, and watch them attempt to try and nationalize it. Wouldn't be surprised. And then all that information just goes away. Or a more likely approach is the government's going to try and cut a deal with Elon. They're going to try and cut him a deal. Behind the scenes, like, hey, if you don't release this information, maybe we can get you some tax subsidies for your,
under the guise of national security.
Yeah, exactly. Just watch. Just watch.
They probably do. Like,
if Elon starts to back down, you're going to know why.
We'll see.
Taking your calls, folks, over everything we've previously discussed. The number is 214-817-1689. Again, the number is 214-817-1689. After Elon admits that, in 2017, the Washington Post exposed that election attorney Marky Elias, who was then at Perkins Coie, hired the opposition research firm Fusion GPS, using money from the Hillary Clinton campaign and the Democratic National Convention to find dirt on then-candidate Donald Trump. The so-called dossier that resulted, manufactured by former British spy Christopher Steele, was the basis for the collusion hoax and was also used by the FBI to justify its investigation into the Trump campaign.
Got a call.
Go ahead.
Are you there?
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, this is Brittany. I don't appreciate you motherfuckers talking shit about me all the goddamn time.
Brittany, you sound very country. You sound very country.
I tell you what, I'm from Texas. You know what I'm saying? Where you from?
Texas.
What, you from the fucking hood or something? You think you're fucking cool over there talking shit about me while I'm in prison all fucking time?
All right.
Brittany, you sound very masculine.
Yeah,
interesting.
okay.
The so-called dossier that resulted, manufactured by former British spy Christopher Steele, this is the Steele dossier, for the collusion hoax, was used by the FBI, blah, blah, blah. The FBI continued to cite this dossier when it sought surveillance warrants from the secret FISA court, even after it knew that the dossier was fraudulent. Mm-hmm. Good grief. Good grief.
They knew this.
They knew this.
They knew this from the very beginning.
Yep.
And all these idiots, all these pundits pounded on it. PP tape, Russian collusion.
Yep.
Adam Schiff. I've got proof. I've got proof that there's Russian collusion.
Oh my God. Schiff is the biggest
Eric
moron.
Swallowswell.
We got him. We got him. We got him.
Over and over. Got, like, not even investigating a crime. Investigating a man looking for a crime.
Yeah.
Because they didn't like the election.
Yep. The same thing with Elon Musk. Elon takes Twitter, and what happens? The government wants to start conducting probes. But the funny thing is, right now, Elon's got a steel gate. He's got a steel gate the government can't get through. It's like, look, I control it now. You have no persuasion over here. You've got no power. I have it all.
Yeah.
And that's why they instantly tried to, a worldwide character assassination attempt went after Elon. White supremacists, white nationalists, white this, everything. Every playbook, every rule in the playbook that liberals have, they are using on Elon Musk right now. All it is to simply discredit him and accuse him of spreading misinformation. That's all it is. In reality, it's like, look, he's showing you the emails. He's showing you everything. And here's the other thing, folks. And people's like, what stops him from lying? Because he could get sued into oblivion if he was.
Yeah.
And that's why you're going to see a lot of these Twitter employees not file lawsuits for defamation or libel. They won't, because it can be proved. Not once since the release of the first Twitter files have any lawsuits been publicly declared against Elon Musk for spreading lies and libel and slander, which cost people financial hardships.
You know, the only thing that happened to the Clinton campaign is that they were fined.
They were fined, yeah.
By the FEC.
Yep.
For hiding their payments to... That's it.
That's it.
That's all they... And look what they're doing to all these other politicians.
Oh, bro, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
These are the scum of the earth. How they are allowed to stay in office is just baffling. I mean, they have to have Satan himself over on their side, like calling the shots.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. These people are just...
I just don't get it.
We got any more calls coming through?
All right, I'm opening up the line, guys. Hang on one second.
That was a very, very southern Brittany Griner. Never heard her talk like that before. That was very interesting.
All right, we got one coming in. Hold on.
Oh, boy. So that'll be good.
All right. Hello? Are you there?
Hello. It must be a wrong number. Sorry.
Are you calling the All American Savage Show? Should I answer it a different way?
I would. I would just say this is the All American Savage Show.
Okay. All right, here we go. Hang on. The All American Savage Show. Can I help you?
Hello. Hi. I'd like to speak to John, please.
You got him.
John, hi. This is Brittany Griner. I just want to tell you, I don't appreciate the way you boys are talking about me. I'm a goddamn American hero. I'm a proud black lesbian woman that's fighting the good fight. And I'll tell you motherfuckers one thing. If I find you two on the street, I'm going to clap those cheeks. And oh, by the way, that hobo chili recipe, he's a all fucking foreskin. Later, bitches.
Oh, man. Brittany Griner is really upset with us today, apparently. She's, man, we're getting an earful from her. Him, her. I forget which. Man, my bad. Sorry about that, Brittany. Maybe we should just link up and just, fuck it out or talk it out. I don't know. It's weird. Oh, my God. We got another one. Oh, good Lord. What are we getting ourselves into? Apparently, Brittany Griner is a very big fan of the show.
Yeah, we got one.
Go ahead.
Start at the beep.
Hey. Are you there? Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Go ahead. You're on.
Well, hey, I'm fairly interesting seeing what you guys have been discussing. Hold on a second.
What'd he say?
I said it was really interesting what you guys have been discussing. Hold on a second. I think he meant to turn off the radio, but I think he ended his call. Oh, my God. I love it. I love our audience.
Let's try one more. Hang on.
Try one more. Oh, boy. Apparently, Brittany Griner is a big fan of the show. Who knew? Who knew? We got another one. Number is 214-817-1689. Does anybody actually want to talk? Does anybody actually want to talk? Oh, my God. All right, let's move on. Oh, my God. Well, Matt Damon's at it again. No, I'm not kidding. Report, you remember the woof guy, the nuclear energy disposal degenerate that likes to spank people and tie them up with ropes and wear dog masks and shit and got busted stealing the luggage? Oh, it happened again. Yeah, I'm not lying. Gender fluid Biden official Sam Brinton accused of second luggage theft. Hide your kids, hide your wives, hide your suitcases. Openly gender fluid Sam Brinton, the MIT grad who joined the Joe Biden administration earlier this year as the Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Office of Spent Fuel and Waste Disposition in the U.S. Department of Energy, has been accused of stealing another woman's luggage at the airport on top of the previous accusation. Investigators with the 8 News now revealed on Thursday that Brinton has been accused of stealing from Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas, and a felony warrant has been issued. A warrant has been issued for Sam Britton, a Deputy Assistant Secretary. Sources told the charge is for grand larceny with a value between $1,200 and $5,000, records show, reported the outlet. The outlet provided no other details of the allegation beyond what initial sources revealed. Sam Britton was charged with a felony last month for allegedly stealing a woman's luggage at Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport on September 16th. The theft reportedly occurred when a woman arriving from New Orleans went to the baggage carousel only to find that Sam had peed on her luggage, saying, it's now mine, bitch, and then ran away. No, not really. That's not what happened. Because, the whole woof woof thing. Okay, we'll move on. Only to find their navy blue Vera Bradley roller bag was missing, per Alpha News. Now, what he did was illegal, but why are you stupid enough to travel with a $1,200 suitcase? Because you're fucking stupid. Anyway, law enforcement at the Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport were alerted to a missing suitcase in the baggage claim area on September 16th. The adult female victim said she flew into MSP on a Delta flight from New Orleans and went to retrieve her checked bag at the carousel. Okay, something's not adding up. Why do you have a $1,200 suitcase and you're flying Delta? I couldn't hold back on that one. I'm sorry. And we already know about this. This was the one. Then this actually, again, happened in September. It broke the news, I think, last week or the week before. The female victim, who estimated the bag cost $2,325, confirmed to police that the navy blue bag, blah, 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 blah. On October 19th, police questioned Britton about the bag, and if he took anything that did not belong to him. Britton reportedly responded and said, "Not that I know of." What are you talking about?
This guy's a complete psychopath.
These degenerates are mentally unhinged. 2 hours after the interview, Britton then allegedly called the investigating officer and admitted to not being completely honest. According to Britton, he mistakenly took the navy blue bag due to him being tired from his trip and got nervous when arriving at his hotel room. He realized the bag belonged to someone else. Yeah, I mean, that happens to me all the time. I fly a lot. I travel a lot. And, I find that when I get out of airports, I don't like waiting for my bag. So I take a roughly $2,000 bag from somebody else off the carousel and go from there.
I feel like he may be lying just because.
You think so? I don't think so.
If there was another bag that looked like that bag, then that other bag might. Yeah. She'd be like, "Oh, that's my bag." Wait.
Yeah. Weird.
He's just a psychopath.
Not knowing what to do, Britton allegedly told police that he left the woman's clothes in the hotel room drawers and took the bag with him anyway in order to keep up appearances. Britton has allegedly not returned the bag to the female victim, and police said no clothing was recovered from the hotel room. His first court hearing is scheduled for December 19th in Hennepin County. New York Post confirmed that Biden administration placed Britton on leave about a month ago following the accusations. Would you fire his gay ass already? Good grief. The only thing protecting him is the fact that he's a degenerate. That's all there is to it. Come on, folks.
And that gorgeous red lipstick. This
is the only thing protecting him, is the fact that he's gay or whatever he is. I don't know. That means you can't make this up. This Biden administration, you hire some real winners over there, Biden, buddy. Good old Sleepy Joe.
Bro, the pictures of this guy posing in women's clothes.
But Biden loves that. And deep down, Biden, his racist heart is like, these freaking gay boys, blah, 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 blah. But, they're like, Joe,
grab those balls.
Joe, we got to hire them. We got to use them because why? We got to get the votes. We got to get the gays and the blacks to, look at Brittany Griner. Let's check off those two. And trans, bingo.
Hunter. I got you a new secretary. Hide your luggage.
Good Lord. It's ridiculous. And again, this is what affirmative action gets you. This is exactly what affirmative action gets you. Not people that have quality of character and merit to their names, but instead they focus more heavily on, again, sexuality and race. And this is why you get pieces of shit within the military, pieces of shit within your administration, not saying that all people are like that. But if that is your metric of hiring somebody, then you're going to get a lot of pieces of shit. Makes sense to me. So, hey, we need a new sales representative for Shell Shock. Well, you know what? We're going to hire somebody. Well, who are you going to hire? Well, someone that's black. Well, wouldn't you want to hire someone that's good at sales? No, just black.
Black
and if they're gay, even better. If I can get a black gay lesbian, oh my God.
Would you be comfortable wearing a dress?
Oh, with red lipstick? Count on it. Do you have any sales experience? Nope, it's okay. The fact that you're gay, black, and wear red lipstick, that'll more than make up for your lack of sales. Because by God, we've got diversity at Shell Shock. It's fucking ridiculous. Well, Kristen Sinema out of Arizona. You remember Kristen Sinema? She basically put a big kibosh
Bisexual.
The bisexual. Yeah. She put a big kibosh on the whole big spending plan Biden was trying to further advance. Well, Kristen Sinema is now leaving the Democratic Party, and she is going full-on independent. Folks, that's what I'm saying. If we're wanting to win these fringe voters, this is the way to do it. These are the people that we should be going after to try and be more inclusive enough into the GOP to become a little bit more libertarian-esque. Bring these people over. And at least we can acknowledge the fact we're not going to agree on several minor issues, but the major issues, I feel like we more than willing can get enough. We can agree upon.
Yeah,
I think that we can. I feel like there's a lot of things that we can essentially come together and say we have a lot of commonality between us. Let's join forces on this. And that's why I think if the GOP will progress a little bit in certain areas, they can be insanely more effective while still protecting your Judeo-Christian values.
Yeah,
that's not off the table. I think a lot of the Bible people, they don't seem to realize that by progressing, it's not putting you in more danger of losing your ability to worship, but instead it's protecting it even more. I just don't think they get that. But Washington, Kristen Sinema decisions to leave the Democratic Party reshapes the dynamics of the 2024 Senate race in Arizona, creating fresh obstacles for Democrats to hold the seat in 2 years. Sinema's announcement Friday that she will become an independent prompted fury and told you so reactions from her Democratic critics who vowed to fight to win back the seat in 2024. Sinema's office said she will continue to not attend meetings of the Democratic caucus but intends to keep her committee seats assigned to her by Democrats, preserving the 51-49 Senate balance. Well, Sinema should just go ahead and do it. Like, come on, stop.
Yeah.
They already hate you, Sinema. What are you waiting for? Don't think that you're going to soften the blow of hatred from the Democratic left. No, you're already ostracized because, again, like I said, Democrats don't have enemies. They create enemies. They have just made you their enemy. That's all there is to it. So don't wait. Concede now. Just like, no, I'm done. I'm done with the DNC.
I think she is.
Well, she said she's still going to retain keep her committee seats assigned to her by Democrats, preserving the 51. While Sinema won't yet say whether she will run for re-election as an independent, the prospect shakes up the dynamics of the race. If she runs, it could mean a three-way battle between a Republican, Democrat, and Sinema as an independent. And if Sinema, who despite being a regular headache for her party leader, remains ideologically closer to Democrats than the GOP, pulls more votes from Democrat-leaning voters that could pave the way for a Republican candidate to win in 2024. I don't think Republicans would vote for her. I don't. But I think that she could potentially split the Democratic vote.
I mean, if she,
as far as for primaries,
does something good, I don't know. I mean, what did she say here? Sunam said, I've registered it as Arizona independent, and I know that some people might be a little bit surprised by that, but actually I think it makes a lot more sense. There's a growing number of Arizonians, and people like me just don't fit into one
box.
Yeah. So
the same party that says, don't put us in a box, don't label us, love labeling you and putting you in a box.
Yeah. So,
and then she has her own peers saying statements like this, saying, I'm not surprised, but I'm shockingly disappointed at how awful she continues to be, said Michael Slugoki, an outgoing vice chair of the Arizona Democratic Party. Yeah, and that's what I love about it. If you have a difference of opinion than me, like especially, this is economics. This is like economics. This has nothing to do with culture, nothing to do with abortion. It's economics. And they crucify her for this, for having a fiscally different opinion.
Yeah.
And, she's awful. Character assassinations. I'm surprised they've not went after her bisexuality.
I know. And they're the ones who brought it up in the first place.
It is,
First openly bisexual, Congress.
Yep. And now that bisexual disagrees with you.
She's bisexual.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
They were for it. Now they're against it.
And she's truly awful, folks. She's truly awful. Well, this is gonna viewer warning beware. Graphic: Mexican lynch mob hangs gunman from tree. Yeah, this is real. A lynch mob in Mexico targeted two gunmen who had just killed a local politician in recent days. The mob managed to capture one of the gunmen, who they beat and stripped before hanging him from a tree as local police watched. The case took place recently in Cardenas, Tabasco, where I'm not making that up. I'm not making it. Cardenas, Tabasco.
Made me hungry.
It's spicy over there. Muy caliente. Where two gunmen shot and killed Armando Villegas, a former delegate for the municipality. Locals captured on cell phone video a few seconds of when the unidentified gunman hung from a tree. I'm going to play this for you. Be advised. User discretion. This is graphic. So you see them. There he is, hanging from the tree. You see the local cop literally just walk by. They've hung this dude. Again, this is vigilante justice. Cops know. They said there was a mob. They couldn't stop this. They caught one of the gunmen. The other gunman apparently got away on a motorcycle, and they strung this dude up right then and there. Now, this is what's dangerous about it. Mob vigilante justice can sometimes turn very wrong very quickly. People en masse, when they're very angry and upset, are very easily manipulated. Now, here's the other thing. I know we already know like Mexican cops are insanely corrupt, but this mob, and there's other videos that you can see where they're basically there he is being dragged. They're dragging him by his throat with a rope. They've stripped him. They beat him. This dude's like damn near dead already. He's probably unconscious. He's laying there. He's still trying to move. He's like struggling for air and oxygen. But this is the same guy. And you might feel bad when watching this, folks, but this is the reality of life and the world. This guy just killed somebody. He shot him point blank, a local politician. And so, eye for an eye, law of Hammurabi. And it works. It really works. So it's
do you think that would be a deterrent for people in the future that will do this stuff? Like, if we get caught, we're probably going to get beat up pretty bad.
They're probably going to hang us from a fucking tree. They're going to lynch us from a tree.
Do you think some of that stuff just kind of, I don't know, people got a little weak in the stomach when we stopped going out and hunting our own food? I was kind of thinking about that because we went out there and we went hunting.
Yeah.
I mean, the trackers that were with, I mean, they took those deers, put them up and skinned them and cut them up and everything.
Field dressed them, yeah. 100%.
It's like,
That's what they do.
You have to have a real stomach to do that, but I think
you
if you do that
but
all the time,
you get used to it, yeah.
You see something like this and you're like...
sensory adaptation, you get used to it, yeah. So. My first time seeing it, whoa, and then you do get used to it. Yeah. It's just like, okay, and the smell you never get used to. It's just nasty, especially if you like gut shot them, which you don't want to do.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. America lost its stomach because we We got very soft because of the freedoms were provided. We took for granted, and we became very, very soft, mentally weak, physically weak. We encourage and endorse the wrong things in society. We put no faith or we put no value on strength, mental strength. Instead, we now try and glorify obesity. We are trying to glorify the wrong things. And as a result, this is what America's become. America used to be the land of the free, home of the brave. Now we're the land of the mentally weak that cries in cry closets, that have trans people that cut off their dicks and demand that they're the opposite sex. This is what America has devolved to. And quite honestly, I'm fucking ashamed. I'm ashamed of this country. This should never have been tolerated. It's disgusting because now they're going after the kids.
Yeah.
America. They're going after the kids.
I almost think if, I don't know, getting back to farming making your own food and all that stuff would kind of harden people up a little bit more, make it more dependent on themselves and less dependent on other
America
people
needs to go through some hard times again. We're going to have to go through some hard times, honestly. And and unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen. I think America is eventually going to fall. I really do. Maybe not in our generation, maybe not the next generation, but if we continue going down this road, America will fall. Or we already have Putin not afraid of us. And if Putin ain't afraid of us, China sure as fuck ain't afraid of us.
Who do you think would fall first? London or like England or the United States? I mean, because England is pretty progressive right now.
They
with
are.
Their leadership, and it seems like most of the people there are on board with whatever the government does.
I just don't know.
Unless it's like here where it's...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Because I don't follow British politics, so I couldn't really tell you. I don't see to the level in England what is happening here in America. I know it exists, but is it to the same level?
Because you can't have a weapon, right?
Yeah.
You can't have a gun. Cops don't even carry guns.
Yeah, because they're pussies.
Yeah, so there's a lot more restrictions over there.
I say, old boy, could you please stop and return that? It does not belong to you. I am a bobby here. Stand down, sir. I say, stand down. Oh, well, since you put it that way, old chap, here, I shall be returning this. I apologize for my delinquent behavior. Many apologies there. I don't get that. I'm sorry. I just think criminals should be in the dirt.
Yeah.
I do. I think we should go back to the old ways. I really do, because now you've got everything so inundated in legal battles and shit like that and all these appeals. It's like, look, dude, if you're a convicted pedophile, you should be dead.
Yeah, if they found it back in the day, back in the 40s or 50s,
done.
They would have grabbed them, took a branch off a tree, whipped the hell out of them.
Take him out of the woods, put a bullet in his head, and bury him in a shallow grave. Who gives a fuck? Let the dogs and the wild animals have him. And again, that's because criminals now have rights.
Yeah.
Criminals are no longer afraid to go to jail. That's just not a big deal anymore. They use jail as a means of welfare. So, but hey, some sad news here, folks. Trevor Noah, black comedian, who I don't find remotely funny. Not because he's black, no. because he's a liberal. Anyway, Trevor Noah exits The Daily Show a total failure. It's gone. It's going away.
Just wasn't funny.
It's not funny at all. Like, I will concede that there are Democrat comedians that are liberal comedians. They're funny. I was like, yeah, they're fucking liberal, but they're funny. Rarely, because they really hamstring and handcuff themselves because of certain things you can and cannot joke about.
I don't know. Who?
What?
Some liberal comedians.
Oh man, I have to look him up. I mean, I see him on TikTok all the time.
Would you say Ricky Gervais? He's not liberal, is he?
No, I don't think he's liberal. I don't think he's
Dave Chappelle?
No, I think they're moderate Democrats. They're not progressives. I think they're the old version of the Democratic Party. And I think that by and large, from them being and having those stances now, it's pushed them more independent.
Yeah.
And Ricky Gervais, I love that dude. Like
he's hilarious.
He's hilarious. He makes some really good comments. And that dude ain't got nothing to hide. Because when he did that Oscar speech, he's like, he talked about all of you at Epstein Island. He's like, you can't get mad at me. He's like, you all knew.
He's
like,
your friend.
Yeah, he's your friend, not mine. It's like, damn. I love it though. Like, that was amazing. But Trevor Noah exited The Daily Show Thursday night, leaving tens of people wondering what will they do without him. And 329,000 people asking, who? The Daily Show? Comedy Central? None of that rings a bell? Yeah, me neither. Noah replaced Jon Stewart as Daily Show host in 2015. Stewart was also a ratings failure, gathering only a little over 1 million viewers every night. Folks, to put that in context, the TV show I was on, American Grit, we were getting about 1.6 to 2 million live viewers per episode. That's up against Jon Stewart. That's up against Trevor Noah. And ours was not even that famous of a TV show. Fox put no ad spend behind that TV show. These dudes... Normally, guys, if it's a 1.5 and that one and the numbers like 2, 3, 4 equal live million viewers. So one rating is you got 1 million live viewers. 2, you get it. The fact that it was a 1.5, you're canceled. You're not getting another season. But I wonder why they did.
Got a lot of seasons. He was just so terrible.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
And Stephen Colbert, like, dude.
Even like
Samantha
Bee.
Yeah. The feckless cunt.
She was so
horrible.
Awful.
Yeah. Because I think liberal comedians like Amy Schumer and the rest of them, they try so hard to overcompensate in a man's world by being more masculine, and people are just repelled by it because traditional values, I feel, apply a lot across the board. They don't like seeing women trying to be masculine. It's not cool. It's not appealing. It's not attractive. It's like, my name is Amy Schumer. Look at my pussy. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, it's not funny. Margaret Cho, another one. It's like, no, I just don't find you very funny. You're trying too hard. Yeah. But there are other comedians that I find insanely hilarious. I hate to admit, but Sarah Silverman used to be one of them. When she'd make gay Jew jokes and stuff, dude, I fucking died laughing. But now, oh, hell no. And speaking of Silverman, listen to this. Trevor Noah doesn't have anything lined up after this, he basically says. Well, I can hardly believe that. This phenomenon, this superstar, this voice of a generation doesn't even have a bigger gig waiting in the wings? Go on. This seems absurd. Why, after Jon Stewart left The Daily Show, he directed a feature film that no one watched, signed a lucrative deal with HBO that was canceled before it premiered, and is now hosting a show on Apple TV that attracts about 1/10 as many viewers as Trevor Noah. If a good dog like Jon Stewart can benefit from left-wing affirmation action, why not Noah? The good news is, though, that these tens of Daily Show fans will still be able to enjoy their cherished program. Already, Comedy Central has lined up a series of has-been guest hosts who are even bigger failures than Jon Stewart and Trevor Noah. Serial groper and disgraced former U.S. Senator Al Franken, Chelsea Handler, who is so awful Netflix canceled her, Leslie Jones, who I'm told is only funny when she falls down and gets hit by a cream pie, John Leguizamo, who should be replaced by Al Pacino for the lulz, and aging comedian Sarah Silverman, who's become as uptight as Margaret Dumont. As you can see, The Daily Show legacy will continue its legacy of failure, but whatever. Bye, Felicia.
Is that really their list of people that they're bringing in?
That's who they're bringing in.
That's more like and more a stable of losers. You couldn't pick a worse lineup.
Bro, I'm telling you.
You're like, how terrible do we want to be?
And to top it all off, bring out to the show next Casey Anthony. It's like, are you serious with this?
Even Democrats
aren't
watching it.
You know how video killed the radio star? Democrats attempted to kill comedy.
I mean,
they attempted to kill comedy, and we're going to bring it back over here on this show on Rumble.
Oh God,
we're going to bring it back. We're going to bring in the dark humor, the shit that you couldn't say or make jokes about before. You're going to like the way you feel. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I see Al Franken start popping back up on Twitter.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh yeah,
sucker.
You going to go out and grab some boobies later on?
Yeah. My, how the left loves to forgive their own when they get called out and they try and cancel them, like James Gunn and the rest of them. It's a temporary cancel.
Yeah.
It's a temporary cancel. Well, folks, so that does it for today's show. It is Friday, and we are, oh man, I'm glad it's Friday. I'm so glad it's Friday. So here's the deal. We are still offering code JOLLY, saves you 25% off of the samples of shellshockcbd.com. If you've never tried our products, now is your chance. A sample pack is like, what, $4-5?
Yeah.
25% off of that, and you cover the shipping. And did I mention that our gummies, the full bags, come with a gummy back, money back guarantee? If they don't do as we advertise them to do, you get your money back, folks. Go try it out. Again, this is shellshockcbd.com. We really appreciate your patronage and supporting the show and the podcast every time you share, and you go leave a good review on iTunes or Google and things like that. It really helps boost us. So again, we cannot thank you enough, and we'll see you bright and early back next week. We got guest coming back, Jessica Harlow. She's going to come back on the show, and we're going to talk about toxic femininity and toxic masculinity, and really delve into the dating weeds as far as what you can and cannot find attractive, and just some other great fat phobic bullshit. So she's going to have for some unique perspective on that. And then we also have another special guest I'm lining up. I'm not going to announce him just yet, but hopefully it comes through. So anyway, that concludes today's show. Go give us a like on iTunes. Leave us a good review. You got anything to add, my man?
Yeah, you guys have a great weekend.
And as always, stop stealing people's luggage, you fucking degenerate.
Toys in every store. But the prettiest sight to see is the holly that'll be on your own front door. A pair on hop-along boots and a pistol that shoots is a wish of Barney and Ben. Dolls that'll talk and we'll go for a walk is a hope of Janice and